Welcome to the fifth dimension. This is a general reading for Virgo, and I am new, so if you can subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I have been blessed and anointed with the ability to bring in past loved ones, so people that were significant in your life that have passed. That stand beside you here in the earthly plane as an extra level of love and support. I am going to bring in that person. Um, for one of the Virgo viewers, and I hope that it's who you're hoping it is. And if you intuitively feel like someone who has passed is around you here on Earth, you can feel their presence. Just know that you are feeling their presence. That is not in your imagination. So what I do is I use several tools to bring forward this person, of course, mainly my intuition. And I pray and I meditate over all of these different tools before I begin to save you time. And so I am ready to get right into it. So, sorry, I wanted to pick up one other item. All right, so the person who is coming through for my Virgo viewer is a brother. You are his sister, or his sister might have been your mom and you know of this story. But it is a brother that is coming through. This brother was never married. Maybe if he was married, it was for a very short time, or he had a significant female in his life. But I do not show him as ever marrying. I show him by himself throughout his lifelong journey. And you and him were very close. He was your main person. When you were small, you might have had a parrot in your home, and he loved this parrot, is what I'm getting. And you were both very close. You actually played music together or listened to music together, but I don't see it as performing outside of your home. I think this was something that you two did inside your home that you both really enjoyed. And just know that he was super proud of you when you would play. I see a piano, so possibly you played on the piano and he would stand beside you and sing, possibly, but he was very proud of you during those moments, and that was a special time that he shared with you. Um, I do, like I said, I see him by himself. Um, I see him having a lady in his life, but I'm wondering if it was you. It might not have been a romantic partner. I'm not quite sure. I'm getting that there was a main woman in his life, and I'm thinking it might be you, his sister. Um, he ended up being fairly wealthy. He lived in a very nice home. He spent a lot of time alone. He was a homebody. He liked to play games. So maybe as adults, you went over to his nice home and he played, and you two played games together. You liked to be outdoors a lot, maybe sit and talk, have a glass of wine, things like that as you both got older. You received a message from someone that he passed, and you were absolutely devastated. Obviously, we all are when we lose someone. That's why I like to do this, because the grief just is so overwhelming that if we can bring a little bit of peace and happiness to the situation or to the loss, that's my goal. But you received the news, and you went to church shortly after that. You just were in so much grief that you went to your church and you sought prayer. You turned to God and prayed, and just could not get over your loss of him in your life. And it was just a very hard time for you. I see you burying him at a grave site. There was some kind of a funeral in which you participated in, but there was something that occurred after his death. You wanted him to be buried in the military section of the funeral. He might have just spent a very short time in the military, but it was something that was meaningful to him, and you wanted to make sure that he was buried in the military section of the cemetery. And so you actually had that expectation that his headstone would be placed in the veterans section of the particular place he was going to be buried at. And you had to wait some time for that. I would say, almost a month. And you might have even went to court over it to prove that he was in the military, that he did deserve to have his headstone in that section of the cemetery. And I believe that you were successful. I'm also seeing that outcome may not have come forth exactly the way that you wanted. Maybe you were forced to place his headstone somewhere else in the cemetery, and then you got the approval for the military um, burial, and then you kind of let it go there, just from sheer grief and loss of him. But you did fight for him. You two loved each other very much. You were very close. I also pulled some other things, some letters, to bring forth maybe his first initial of his first name, middle, or last name, or maybe these letters are encompassed within his name. But I'm going to show you what I pulled. I usually only get 3 when I pray and meditate. This time I did get 4, so I will show you all 4, and I sure hope that they resonate. B, H, D, and I. So I hope that resonates with this wonderful brother that you lost. I also pulled some numbers to possibly get his birth month, his birth day or date, or his death month and his death date, or maybe a significant period of time in your life when he was a certain age and you knew something significant happened during that age. I request 3, and I got 5. So that was quite a bit compared to what I normally get. So I am going to try my best to hold them up. I'm going to have to do it in 2 separate showings here. So I have 14, 24, and 5. So that could be May the 24th or May the 14th, that he was either born or passed, something significant in the month of May. And then the other 2 cards I have, 2 numbers that I have, are 8 and 29. So we have something happening, either birth or death, possibly in August or May. And the dates or ages of things that happened in his life that were significant are 14, 24, and 29. And of course, we might not have the month up, and the day could also be represented by the 5 or the 8. So don't force it to fit. This should be pretty easy for you to figure out and have it resonate if this is, in fact, your brother that's coming forward. I was going to tell you a little bit about his personality to even narrow him down even more. He liked blacks, deep purples, and when he would dress up, he liked red. So maybe he would wear an all black suit with a red tie, all black suit with a purple tie, or black dress pants with a purple, deep eggplant purple sweater or what have you. But that's what I have as his preferences on the kind of colors that he liked. He either wore them himself, or when he saw these colors on other people, they appealed to him. As far as his characteristics go, his favorite season was winter. And I don't know why. That could be that he just liked that all the holidays were over, or he knew that spring was coming next, or maybe there was a sport that he did in the winter, like hunting. Do I see any of that on here? I don't. I think he just liked to be inside, and winter is a time where we can get under a blanket, watch movies, make good food, play games, spend time with our family. I have that he was a deep thinker, and he was a very logical person. He did not like to express his feelings. He kind of held them in. He wasn't very expressive with his feelings. Of course, you knew him because you knew him well. He loved to plan, though. So that could be, part of the games and the getting together. He probably liked to plan that. He was a very efficient person. I'm not really getting what he did for a living. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Um, I do get that either he was a mechanic in the military or he had mechanic skills throughout his life. Fairly basic, probably. He could work on a car, maybe any car. He could do oil changes or I don't know why I got repair a starter on a car. So he had mechanic skills, but I don't believe he had a mechanic business. He might have been in the health arena for his career. Might have been a male nurse, might have been a paramedic. Um, so I do have that coming up. And also that may resonate for you. That may be validation for you. That may be, you may be in the medical field. And so that's a validation for you that this is him speaking to you. So, keep all of those kind of things in mind. Um, The best part of this reading for me every time is I pull cards that are messages directly from him to you. So I call these my Stairway to Heaven cards because I believe these are messages that can only be possible through the divine. They come from the divine through me to you. If your brother was standing beside you right now and he was given a limited time to say something to you, what would he say? And I pulled 3 cards. I normally get 2. He has given extra throughout the whole reading, so that may have been reflective of his personality also. But he wants you to know a couple of things. He says, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. As a soul, I can be in several places at once. So you may wonder, is he with me all the time? And is he just at my house? He is around you all the time, several places. As a soul, he can be wherever you are. He can also be with you and maybe another family member of yours. Like he said, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. All right. This is the next card. I have no more earthly worries. So he's just telling you that as a side note. Hey, I'm good. Things are great. I have no more worries. I live in the heavenly plane, so I have no more earthly worries. He just wants you to know he's doing great. This I thought was beautiful, and I saved it for last because I believe this is true. It's reflected all throughout this reading. A true brother and sister bond. We are so connected. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you feel him, he is beside you. Or when you do feel him, he is beside you. I'm going to do one last thing. And I have a bag of marbles that I use to reflect eye color for this beautiful brother of yours. And so I have pulled brown. Now this is a light brown, so that to me means like a hazel with lighter brown hues in it. Some hazels have green hues, some hazels have blue hues. I believe this was, his eyes were brown with lighter brown hues in his eyes. So I hope that this brought you a beautiful gift and a beautiful blessing, and I hope that you are the right person to receive this message. This is a beautiful brother-sister relationship that has come through. It's deeply felt by both. Just know he is with you. I love you. God bless. I'm the 5th dimension. Please describe. And I apologize for the glasses and the glare from the lights. I didn't have time to put in my contacts. I have to head to my day job next. But I love you. Take care and God bless. And check with me next week and see who comes in next week for the sign of Virgo. Bye-bye now.